Alright everyone, so here I have a knife that's new for 2020, a collaboration that Arcform did with Protech. So as you would suspect, if anybody does something with Protech, it means that Protech has made it an automatic. So what knife is this? This is your Arcform Slimfoot with that Protech twist to it. As most collaborations, wonderful things happen. So, beautiful knife, 154 cm steel, automatic deployment, no other lock mechanism to it, deep carry, pocket clip done by Protech. Maker's mark is stamped right here on the blade. I know my lighting's kind of a little overwhelming here, but Maker's Mark stamped on there. Arcform is right here, and then Protech did their mark right inside here, right inside there. I know the camera is not wanting to focus very well, but it's right there. So, I got this guy directly from Arcform, and when I got here, when I got to the house, I opened it up maybe 7 or 8 times, and on the last time that I hit the button, it swung out, but then something happened inside and something broke, and I wasn't quite sure what it was until I took it apart, which you're really technically not supposed to do. You're supposed to send it in with your using your warranty for the company to repair or replace. But I was really upset, and I had to know what happened to it. So that's I took it apart, and what I discovered was that this spring, sorry I bumped the camera, the spring here on this side is the side that sits into the milled out frame on the scale, on the backside scale. He sits in there in a little milled out spot for that pin to sit down in there nice and flush. And then on the other end, there's supposed to be a little piece that's sticking up that way that goes into a hole that is milled out in the actual blade stock itself, up here around the pivot. So what had happened is that piece broke. I believe that it broke in the way Protech explained it to me when I got a responding email from them. Some of these springs, that little piece that sticks out and then goes into the hole that's drilled into the blade, some of them were not quite long enough, and also secondarily there was not enough pressure from the scales keeping him in place and keeping that pronged piece from coming out of that hole that's drilled into the blade stock. So what apparently had happened was he came out of the blade stock, and then continuing in the opening motion from the tension that was there initially on the spring when I hit the actuator button, the blade wanted to continue anyways, and that caused it to break. So it literally just snapped off. So Protech responded literally a day after I sent them an email and said, sorry this happened, we've discovered that there is a problem with it. If you would like to send it in for repair, we'll gladly give you a shipping thing so that you can have it sent in, and we'll fix it for you and send it back to you, no problem. because I was a little impatient and a little too excited about having the knife and wanting to do a video on it for everybody, I asked them if they could just send me the parts, that they would make it a little quicker and a little more cost efficient, effective, yeah, lower cost for everybody, and less time having to send the knife to them and them fixing it and then sending it back. So I was like, just send me the parts. I have no trouble taking it apart because I already did it once. Actually did a handful of times and put it back together, so with the new parts in it. So sure enough, gentleman at Protech that was responding to my emails was very nice, and he sent me 2 springs, replacement springs, as well as a washer. And the purpose of the washer was to fill in that extra space and provide that proper pressure on the spring to ensure that it doesn't come out of its place again like it did the first time. So, and it was interesting, they went with, for the washer, to get it the right thickness and milled with precision, they went with G10 material rather than a nylon washer. That way they could customize the thickness that they needed, I suppose. At least that's what makes sense to me from an engineering standpoint. So, yeah, interesting that it's a G10 washer that's in there. But it works, as I put the washer in there and I put the new spring in there, and I've fired him probably 20 somewhere between 20 and 30 times, and no issues. So I am a very, very happy customer, and I stand behind Protech and Arcform. Arcform emailed me, and when I got their email, they said we've gone ahead and we've notified Protech with giving them all your information so that they can get you taken care of. In fact, they had already responded to my email and were on top of it. So again, awesome customer service from both Arcform and Protech, and that made me a very happy customer. And hopefully this gives you all, some insight to why this particular knife on all of your knife outlet stores that we buy our knives from, not always necessarily directly from companies, usually your Blade HQ or your Smoky Mountain Knife Works or Knife Center, or there's probably 5 or 6 others that people use on occasion. I was trying to list the big ones here in the U.S. that people acquire their knives from. So yeah, the most likely reason why this knife is still on that coming soon status is because they've been addressing that issue and resolving it as quickly as they can, and making sure that proper quality care is being taken place to make sure that all of them that get sent out are doing what they're supposed to do, and that customers remain happy. So again, hope that gave you a little bit of insight and a little bit of promise that they should be coming relatively soon, hopefully very, very soon, because it was a relatively simple remedy to a fairly simple problem. So again, when you deal with collaborations, 2 different companies, one company putting a new spin on another company's knife, and dealing with automatics, you can very easily run into these little problems. So I have nothing against Protech for that goof, and nothing against Arcform. This is my first Arcform knife. Technically Arcform's knife, but it's my second Protech knife. So I have the Calmingo, if you've been watching my other knife videos. So beautiful knife, love it, very happy with it. This one is the acid wash, the 2-tone acid wash and satin finish blade, and that is freaking gorgeous. I know the camera lighting's not the greatest for really seeing that, trust me, when you see these in person, they are gorgeous. It is very, very nice automatic knife. Not nearly as snappy and quick deploying as what most people expect and experience from Protech's automatic knives. He's a little bit slower, but he is very, very smooth and very reliable. It's not one of those where you don't get that inexpensive automatic feel where the blade changes its speed as it opens. If you buy very inexpensive automatics, you'll experience that. They did an excellent job, and the fact that they fixed that minor issue that caused a big problem, but it was just a minor issue. Yeah, fantastic. Couldn't be happier. Go get one, because these are slick. I mean, you want a full-size gentleman's knife with a blade that's just barely a touch over 3 inches. Nice lines. Beautiful, beautiful knife. Worth what you're putting into it, especially with that warranty and customer service that you're getting with them. Nice deep carry pocket clip. Love it, love it. Great knife. Stay sharp, stay bladed, everybody. Take care. See you next time.